Organised and publicised in 5 days flat, a human chain fanned out across Hong Kong tonight, the length of Hong Kong Island, through Kowloon and up into the Northern Territories, towards the China border. The peaceful protests started and ended bang on time, and singing their Hallelujah battle hymn, they lit up the night sky.
Sing hallelujah to the Lord. Stand with Hong Kong. Way of freedom.
They called for freedom. Some held up thank you notes addressed to many countries for supporting their pro-democracy movement.
Democracy now.
This was inspired by another human chain across 3 Baltic states exactly 30 years ago tonight, a protest against Soviet rule. The parallels uncanny as Hongkongers resist what's clumsily dubbed here as mainlandization of their free-spirited territory by an authoritarian and threatening China.
As long as we stand together, we are not scared anymore.
I think it's not a time for us to be scared, because if we don't stand out now,
if we don't do something now, we don't have any chance to do so.
Corporate Hong Kong showed no such guts. Big firms lining up to back Beijing. The biggest corporate casualty of China's ire, Cathay Pacific Airways, whose CEO was forced to resign last week. Cathay has done the full kowtow. Its new CEO declaring zero tolerance with what he called illegal activities and promising 100% compliance with the demands of China's civil aviation authorities. The company is also warning its staff that their social media posts will be heavily scrutinized. China, meanwhile, banning any Cathay crew who'd been to or even supported protests from flying to or from the Chinese mainland or even entering Chinese airspace. The head of the cabin crew union of a regional subsidiary has now been fired for allegedly posting messages of support for the protesters on Facebook.
All my colleagues are all terrified because of this white terror. I feel so sorry for them because I'm no longer in that position to protect them. I'm used to be the one to stand behind them, to back up all of my colleagues.
And from airspace to cyberspace, China still determinedly waging war on social media, it seems, with YouTube today disabling more than 200 channels it said appeared to be part of a concerted campaign targeting the Hong Kong protest movement. YouTube's owned by Google, and its move follows Twitter and Facebook suspending thousands of accounts earlier this week. China has said its citizens were simply exercising freedom of speech. China's foreign ministry today lashed out at Americans for slandering and sowing malicious discord, at Canadians who needed to reflect on their mistakes, and Brits. Simon Cheng, the Hong Kong British consular official, remains in detention on the mainland. Beijing said today he's not a Brit. He's a Chinese citizen from Hong Kong. The UK is in no position, he said, to express so-called extreme concerns. But concerned they are. The Foreign Office tonight updating travel advice for those entering China from protest-racked Hong Kong, warning Brits of greater scrutiny of electronic devices at border crossings, and noting that thresholds for detention and prosecution in China differ from Hong Kong.